Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here on YouTube today because I've tried twice on Facebook and the stream is not working, and I'm not trying any further. So I'm here on YouTube. So if you're new to watching my videos here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, because I'll always fall back on my YouTube channel if Facebook is doing stupid things like it is today. Hi, Asha. Lovely to see you. So welcome. Big welcome, extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. Hi, Susie. So what I'll be doing is the usual. I'm going to be using my Oracle cards. Hi, Ellen. The Animal Kingdom Oracle combined with my Speed of Light Oracle cards to play with. So we'll see what we get today. Just as always, Donna, hello. As always, please take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily at this time, and let the rest go. And just think of this as a guide only. I think we've got a visitor. If she'll turn around. Here's Miss Puss. And she says, hello from us, from a very rainy, wet Tasmania. Everything's wet, but it will clear eventually, and rain is good. So I trust you're well. So I'm shuffling my cards, and just before I start, let's just reflect on last week's theme. So last week's theme was the giraffe, and the giraffe was all about perspective and reminding us to look at things differently. So did you have a perception shift or a perspective shift last week? I know I certainly did, and it's quite interesting how powerful perspective shifts can be, and the reality of those can be quite confronting but also very freeing. So I trust that that supported you last week. So turning our attention now to this new reading week. So I'm asking the cards to show us, the majority of us, what do we need to know for this week starting Wednesday, the 26th of October, through till Tuesday, the 1st of November, 2022. We seem to be flying through the months. It's quite incredible. So the best cards for this current or coming week are these. And let's get them down here next to me. Just bear with me a second. Just going to do 3 rows of 3. So we have 4 Animal Kingdom and 5 Speed of Light. Let's see what we've got here. Just bear with me a second. Oh, nice. Okay, one featured card right at the end. Whoops, nearly fell off my stool. It's a featured timing card called Solar Cycle. And up here it says to take the top card from the deck. So I'm going back to my deck. We'll just grab this card on top. And it's the Fiddler Crab. So I'll add that to Solar Cycle, and we'll talk about that much later because that's right at the end of the reading. So I want to break this week up into 3 sections. So we're going to go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We've got these 3 guys for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It may be in order for some, it may not be. So we're going to talk about the butterfly first, and then we'll work our way through. This is card 6, Butterfly, and it says heart opening, freedom, passion and action. And she came up last week, and she's very much about starting the week, which is great in regards to the reading week, so from Wednesday, with a big wide open heart. And we might find that some of us have quite personally shifted things on quite personal levels in this last week. And I talked a lot about that tumbleweed energy last week, and really allowing those things that have been prickling and quite sharp and confronting to allow that energy to move on. And this was certainly the energy that came after that shifted. So hopefully by the time we get to Wednesday, that you might be feeling quite open in your heart. Maybe you've got some new ideas, some inspiration, some dreams or things that you're thinking about for your future, some new goals or projects to set yourself, or some new things to learn. That is quite likely too in this card. And it comes also with a lot of passion and a lot of action energy. There is little grounding in this card, but sometimes that's a good thing because it can help sort of pull us out of stagnant parts of our life, pull us out of the rut as well. So this is especially for Wednesday, but we'll say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the frog here, card 34, and the frog says to cleanse your environment. So this is very much, again, highlighting transformation, actually, personal transformation and change around the home, change in our personal life. And this is also talking or highlighting that energy of purging and clearing and releasing. It might be a spring clean around our home, around our environment. It might be looking at shifting or clearing or releasing our emotional baggage we've been holding. Maybe the emotional stuff we've been bottling up for a while needs some release. Maybe our mental state needs some releasing or some purging. So it feels very personal. Both of these cards so far feel quite personal. So personal transformation, a personal sort of blooming or blossoming here in the heart, and these personal sort of thoughts or contemplations. And they may be quite serious about what we want to do moving forward, what we want to bring into our life. And this is very personal purging, clearing. It may be spring cleaning time. It may be time to look at that cupboard that we've been avoiding, or that paperwork that we've been avoiding for a while. But it feels, again, very personal. And then this card, well, this feels quite personal too. It's card 31, called Expression. And it says communication, listen, share, deliver, and trust. So this is very much about clearing those communication channels. And I feel, yes, we can be talking here about other people, communicating, expressing, listening in regards to our connections with others. But if we look at this, like, it feels very personal again. And this is likely connected or pointing to how we're communicating with ourselves personally. So a big part of that is listening, and really listening to how we feel, listening to what we say, listening to what we're thinking, listening to how we're interacting or how we're flowing with or struggling with various parts of our life. So listening, paying attention to how we're interacting with our inner world, our mind, our emotions, our body, but also how we're interacting with our immediate surroundings as well. What's triggering us at this time? So there are the three cards for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But I think what I'm feeling here, the theme for these next couple of days is very personal. So we might be dealing with things quite personally and maybe quite privately too, while we're working out our balance, while we're working out our stance on something, or how we want to proceed, or how we feel about something. We may be needing a couple of days of that personal connection, so we can really get clear about what we want, or who we are, or where we want to go in our life. So that's for the first couple of days. Now we're looking at the weekend. So weekend, 29th and the 30th of October. And we've got these three cards for the weekend. We've got the Unicorn, we've got Overlapping Worlds, and we've got Gathering. So we'll look at these all separately first. And then I'll feel for any theme that I might be picking up on. But this is card 50, the Unicorn. And the Unicorn says psychic gifts, spiritual intuition, and trust. So first of all, it brings highlight to our spiritual interests. So these may be things, it can be anything that you class as a way or a tool to help you connect on a spiritual level. It may be working with your oracle cards. It may be meditating. It may be going to church. It may be stepping into nature. It may be, sitting with your journal and writing down how you feel. It might be connecting deeply with your spiritual guides, with your loved ones in spirit. So what is it that determines or what defines your spirituality and how you connect spiritually? And is this, how have you been proactive in these spiritual connections lately? And when I say lately, I kind of feel over the last few months. Or have you been neglecting your spirituality or your spiritual connections over these last few months? So you might have recently been saying, oh, I must get back into meditation, I must get back into journal writing, I must get back to church, or whatever it is you like to do to connect. So this is a message for you if you've been thinking along those lines. This is also reminding us to trust in our intuition always, but especially this weekend. So trusting in our intuition as it leads us forward, as it guides us in our life. And our intuition, I feel, is a personal thing. Like my intuition guides me and your intuition guides you. Some people think for some reason that their intuition guides everyone that they have contact with. And don't really agree with that. Excuse me. I really feel that if we can, as individuals, on that sort of very personal level I was talking about before, if as individuals we can connect with and trust and really get to know and work with our personal intuition, then that kind of leads us to places and people as they trust their intuition, it leads them here. And we start rendezvousing and meeting up and crossing paths and synchronizing up with others. So I'm here now trusting my intuition as I communicate and I express and I share with you in this way. I'm not, my intent that sharing this and this is it, this is black and white, this is suitable for everyone who's connecting. I feel that I trust my intuition and I encourage you, always encourage you to trust yours. Trust yours above you trusting mine. I trust mine over I would trust yours because mine is right for me. And I trust for you that you know what is right for you so that you will trust your intuition above you trusting mine. So our paths have crossed here for a reason, and I'm sure hopefully something will resonate with you, and then it's up to you where you want to take that in your life. So I feel this weekend's very much about our spirituality, but also an opportunity to sit or settle deeper into our intuition, how our intuition speaks to us individually, and how or whether we are trusting it or not. Are we second guessing our intuition? Has our intuition led us astray before, so we might not have much of a trust in it? So how can we get our trust back? How can we trust our intuition more? And where is our intuition taking us moving forward in our life? So very strong intuition, trust, and spiritual aspects with this particular card. Now with Overlapping Worlds, which is card 23, the keywords say transition, sensitivity, temporary, and adjustment. Now this is usually talking about being in between change. So it's like I sort of get this visual of us coming out of a room into a hallway, and then we're walking down the hallway to go to another room. So this could symbolize something in our life, a door that we may be closing and a door that we may be entering. And this card is talking about that hallway period where we're kind of going from one door to another, or we're going from one phase to another, or we're going through a period of change. And we may be transitioning through from one phase or one space or one door to another. And it's a temporarily uncomfortable period because we're transitioning out of something that's known and maybe fairly stable into something new and unknown and perhaps quite mysterious as well. So it can sort of create a sense of hypersensitivity where we may feel a bit sensitive over the weekend. We may feel a little raw or a little fragile or sort of hypersensitive. We may feel like things feel a bit unsettled, like there is a lack of surety, a lack of settledness, a lack of stability somehow. We may not even be able to explain why we feel this way. It could be part of a personal change or a personal transition that we're going through. Some of us, maybe you are going through physical changes and you can say, yes, this makes sense on a physical setting. Maybe you're changing workplace, changing home, moving home, or something's happening in your physical world that is changing. But for some of us who aren't going through that right now, we might find that we feel this because we're going through personal changes, and we're shifting out of a space that we're personally in into a new space. So there's a lot of personal energy around at this time. And another thing to remember about this card is that it's always temporary. So this unsettled, uncertain, hypersensitive space that we might be in, that journey through the hallway, it's temporary because it's just sort of like a phase that is in between one place and another. So we are going somewhere, and what that is might not be clear right now, and that's okay. Now, the other card that's come up for the weekend, 29th, 30th of October, is card 53, called Gathering. And it says helping, ready, leader, and meeting. So if you've got a gathering or a meeting of some sort that's already planned for this coming weekend, then that's certainly highlighting or emphasizing this particular meeting. So it's a gathering of people. It would usually be 2 or more people in this particular gathering. So there's a lot of energy around that if that's something you've already got coming up. You may feel too over the weekend that you want to connect with people. So maybe you might go visiting, or someone might come visiting you if that's something that's possible. There's also another element in this card that's talking about stepping into our role as a leader and leading the way for ourselves, leading the way potentially for others. So you might be also questioning or considering the role that you play as a leader in your life and how you can maybe step into that role a little bit more so you can lead the way for yourself. Have you been hesitating or holding back or waiting back lately, waiting to see what other leaders or another leader wants to, where they want to take you? Maybe it's time that we really consider or contemplate how we can sort of step into that role as a leader a bit more clearly for ourselves. So again, it feels quite personal, the energy around at the moment. We might find this sort of stuff is sort of hitting deep in our body or on an emotional or mental level. And then we've got these other 3 cards here for Monday and Tuesday. So that's a transition over into the new month. So the 31st and the 1st of November. We've got these 3. Actually, I'll reveal them as I go with this particular set. I mean, you already know 2 of the cards, so there's only one in here you don't know, and I can't remember what it is now myself. But this is the Raven that wants to come up first for Monday, Tuesday. It's card 17, and it says to face your shadow with honesty. So this is facing your shadow, facing your fear, facing your flaws, facing the parts of your life that aren't working and haven't been working for a while. And maybe you've been ignoring them or avoiding them or looking the other way and not really facing as honestly as you can your fear and your that shadowy energy. So there is an element of confrontation here, and this is really nothing new. I think a part of a theme keyword over the last probably month has been confrontation. And in fact, it's probably quite the theme for October, really, is this need, this push that we've had, this almost being forced in some ways, this force of confrontation where we've had to really confront ourselves and confront our interactions with others and confront parts of our life that we may be not really feeling balanced with. So that confrontation energy is likely going to continue, and it may be more on the Monday side, because I almost feel like this is just tying up October, is this kind of last test, or not, last is probably not quite the right word, but this test that might come up on the last day of the month, just to test us on that sort of shadowy, confronting energy. So we might find ourselves confronted by something and we're being encouraged to face it as honestly as we can. So that's the Raven. Raven's also the messenger. So you might find some messages or a message of importance coming to you on Monday. And then we move, oh, that's right, we've got the Sea Eagle. This is for Monday, Tuesday, the Sea Eagle card 29. And it says reconnection. It's also got this sun energy here, which we've got here with the solar cycle. So we've got a lot of sun in over Monday and Tuesday. We're being encouraged to, I almost feel like with the sea eagle here, that we're flying out of the old month and out of all the stuff, the cruddy stuff, the muddy, prickly things that we've been dealing with throughout October, and really allowing ourselves to move and fly out of that now and away. There's been a lot of uncomfortable, confronting things, like I say, come up for October, and we're just going to have to let some of those things go. So there might be a tendency that we potentially have to carry what happened over into November. And this may not be the best idea, because it feels like some of the things that came up, some of the things that were said, perhaps, some of the things that surfaced throughout October that confronted us and challenged us and maybe took us by surprise, especially with people, we may just need to put that aside. There's a feeling here that, sometimes things are said in the heat of the moment that are not probably even really true. And they're just things that we're probably going to have to fly away from in October, at the end of October as we move to November. So what do you need to fly away from? What do you need to just leave in the past now and just let it go and just drop that baggage so you can focus on moving forward, bringing that sun, that strength with you as you move into the new month of November. So reconnection too with spirit is a strong element here, aspect of the sea eagle. So again, highlighting our spiritual connections, or the elements of our life where we have become disconnected. So whether it's disconnected from ourselves or disconnected in relationships or with parts of our life that we don't really feel attuned to anymore or at the moment. Is there a way we can plug back in and maybe really consider what is disconnected and how we might be able to plug back into those relationships, our relationship with ourselves, or the aspects of our life that we're not really feeling that connected or pumped about at this time. So these are the types of things we might be really looking at, but I feel very strongly with the sea eagle, this flying and leaving some of what's happened in October behind, and really not carrying that, not dwelling on the details of stuff that's come up or been triggered. That's a one-off thing that maybe, what's coming to mind is like a conflict or something with someone, and then words may have been said or arguments happened that may have been like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. And they probably didn't feel that way, or we probably didn't feel that way, and we just expressed it in the heat of the moment. So there is this sense of really allowing ourselves to leave some of what happened in October behind. And then, okay, that's interesting. Then we have these two cards coming up together. Solar Cycle card 52 talks about a 1 day to 24-hour cycle. So the cycle of the sun, a cycle of a day. So very short term. So we're looking at a day by day, taking 1 day at a time. Also the strength of the sun. And it comes up with the fiddler crab. The fiddler crab is card 46, and it says to be on guard. To be on guard, but don't be paranoid. So there is a sense here of like the fiddler crab putting up its big crab's claw here to protect ourselves, to really look at our boundaries. And also maybe we might find ourselves on guard or needing to guard ourselves with something. There might be something too that we've been dealing with, or a conclusion that we've come to that we need to keep private or keep close to our chest for a bit. Sometimes when we're brewing new ideas, we kind of need to keep them close to our chest too, so we can digest them and really work out and flesh them out, how we want them to be, or how the path we want to take with those before we go communicating. And it's just a way that we process and assimilate those kinds of energy. So we might find something we want to keep close to our chest. We might find our boundaries strong, or that we need to stay on guard, especially in a temporary situation, I want to say, because it's just the solar cycle with this card, a temporary situation that may cause us to put our guard up or be maybe a little cautious around certain person perhaps, or a certain situation. So there are the cards for this week. So I definitely feel the first part, so from Wednesday through till Sunday or even Monday, the rest of this month, very personal stuff. So an opportunity to really connect quietly and personally with ourselves, and then see what shifts as we move into the new month. But I trust this resonates and supports your week ahead. I am going to pull a theme card in just a minute. So before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. Please subscribe if you're new to my YouTube channel. And so I've got new pendants on my website. Not this, but I've got one similar that I made. These are quite popular, so I've still got one of those on my website. I made a couple of new pendants a couple of days ago. And we've got my oracle cards, all sorts of things on there too. If you want to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. So let's see, what's our theme card going to be for this coming week? So I'm looking for the best theme card that the majority of us need as we prepare to move forward into our new reading week. So the best theme card for the majority of us who are connecting now or later to the replay. Okay, let's just get to the right card here. The best card for our theme for the 26th of October through to the 1st of November 2022 is this card. It's a speed of light. It doesn't matter if it's upside down. And it's this. Okay, I'm actually not surprised this card's come up because it feels similar to the Gathering card that we had before, but slightly different. But I was thinking of this card when I was talking about it, so it's quite funny. It's card 24 and it's called Expanded Love. And it says productivity, teamwork, holding space. So in this illustration, I've got two figures here and they've come together. They've united for a common purpose. They've united in love, perhaps. Doesn't have to be love. It could just be for a common purpose or a common reason or a common interest, a common goal. They are coming together with like mind. And as they come together with like mind, they expand, their energy together expands out and around the planet. So this is representing the earth. So this is really an expanded energy, expanded love, an expanded connection here of productivity or of teamwork or of working together. So there is this growth sort of feeling here. And unlike with the Gathering card, which feels like two or more people, this card feels more like two people, three maybe at the most, but it's very few amount of people. And we might find that we have some really strong connections with one or two people this week where we're coming together with a common goal or plan or like mind. We're seeing eye to eye, and we might be really working on how we can better the elements that we both bring to that connection in some way. So we're better together is the feeling here with this card. So as individuals, and this is very individual, personal time this week, as individuals, we have a lot that we can bring and offer. But if we pair up with the right individual for work, for love, relationships, family, for whatever the purpose might be, if we come together with the right person, then that can be like magic where we create, two powerful individuals come together like yin yang in some ways to create a powerful connection here. So there is a bigger picture to this connection that's been made or that's been highlighted this particular week. On an individual level, this also highlights a sense of productivity. So this is really great news. I really love productive energy. It feels great. So I just need the weather to calm down so I can also get a bit more productive outside. But this sense of productivity, getting things done in a nice, efficient and very personally satisfying way or manner, whether it's an end result or just progress that we're making, the steady pace towards something that we're working towards. So this is a great week to get things done. It's a great week to work together with other people of like mind. It's a great week to work together as a team and to hold space together as well. Hi, Nicole and Matt, welcome. So that's our theme this week. So this is a great energy to harness and work with. And I feel like it goes fantastic with the other cards as well. So have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. And I look forward to connecting with you again real soon. Take care of yourself and bye for now. Hi, Katrin. Bye. Lovely to see you all.